You can spend thousands of dollars on audio equipment to get that perfect sound, but you can also make the most of the microphone you already have. Even inexpensive microphones that could be $50 can sound great if you use them properly. We're going to share 7 tips to help you get pro audio with whatever you have right now. Plus, I'll show you my setup if you want to invest and really get the most pro sound you can. All right, step 1 is mic placement. Whatever the microphone you're using, the closer it is to your mouth, the better it's going to sound. I'm going to use the Samson Q2U microphone as an example. This microphone is about $50. It's USB and XLR, and it's a great starter microphone. Right now you're hearing the audio from the Samson Q2U. As you can tell, it doesn't sound great. It's probably a little echoey. I sound far away. Instead, move the microphone closer to your mouth and you're going to get a much better sound. Now, placement is also important, and you don't want to get too close. If you get too close, then you start hearing some mouth sounds and it doesn't sound as good. If you're using a dynamic microphone like this, keep it about a fist length distance from your mouth and you'll get a really good sound. Now, if you invest in something like a shotgun microphone that's off camera, just keep it right out of the frame. You still want to get it as close to you as possible without being seen in the video. And as you can see, here's my shotgun microphone and it's placed just out of frame. The closer it is, the better it's going to sound. That's even true of your mobile device microphone. A lot of times you might see people out doing videos on the street and they hold the microphone like this to their face. That's because the microphone, at least for an iPhone, is at the bottom. And if you cup your hand a little bit and get it close enough to the mouth, even the built-in microphone on your iPhone or Android device can sound really good if you have the proper distance from your face. All right, tip number 2, get the microphone out of your hand. Okay, don't actually throw your microphone. But you want to get your microphone on a stand that's either on a desktop or an arm that you mount to your desk, because that will prevent things like bumps on the desk, shocks. And when you're holding a microphone like this all the time, you might hear some hand noises, and if something messes with the cable, it's not going to sound great. So instead, get yourself an arm that you can mount to your desk, put the microphone on it, and leave it there. Don't have it in your hand making all those hand noises. Also, when it's on an arm like this, you can make sure it's the proper distance from your mouth all the time and it's not going back and forth, getting too far or too close. All right, going back to the Samson Q2U, tip number 3 is use a windscreen. If you don't have a windscreen or a pop filter on your mic, all the P's and B's are going to be a little too strong in the microphone. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Not great. So use a windscreen like this one from Riverside, and that's going to cut down on some of the plosives like the P's and B's and make it just a cleaner recording, easier to listen to. So use a windscreen. If you want, you can even use a windscreen like this and another on top of it. We'll put links in the video description for all of those. Tip number 4, make sure you set the proper gain for your microphone. When you're setting the gain or volume adjustment, which is a little different, we won't get into the technical details, but gain is important. You want to make sure that you have enough volume from your microphone so you're not having to boost it too much in your editing or post-production. That can maybe increase the noise and you hear that shh in the background if you have to increase it later. Now, depending on your audio interface or software, you might see the levels in different ways. Right here, I'm actually recording into Audio Hijack, and you'll see the levels as I'm speaking are reaching nearish the top. They're reaching about -9 or -3 dB, but they're not hitting the top or peaking or overdriving, and different terms that might be used for that. If it's hitting the red on whatever audio interface or software you're using to record, that's too hot. You want to decrease the gain so it's not hitting the red, but just decrease it. Make sure it's still getting very close. That's giving you the proper amount of volume. You can see here on my audio interface, this is also giving me levels. It's in the yellow, which means that it's right before it's peaking, but that's giving me a good amount of volume that I'll be able to work with later. Tip number 5, after you've recorded your audio, you've set the proper gain, you're in as good of an environment as you can be, do some post-processing. You might want to add an equalizer or compressor, and if you want to learn how to use those, you can check out the video above or in the description. I'll walk you through how to use those tools in various pieces of software to get the best sound. But you can also use tools like iZotope RX10. It's a suite of audio tools that can really take your audio to the next level. This is a voiceover I recorded for a video recently, and there are lots of tools here. It can be a little intimidating at first, but if you need help, RX10 actually has a repair assistant, and it will analyze your audio and tell you what effects it thinks you should apply to the audio. Things like de-essing, taking the S's out of the audio, de-clicks, which would remove some of those mouth sounds. I also use a tool called breath control, and I have it set where I have a preset just for my microphone. And when I render audio, it actually removes all the breaths that I took during the recording. Tools like RX10 can really take your audio to the next level no matter the microphone you're using. We'll put a link in the description to RX10 from iZotope if you want to check it out. Tip number 6, and here's where we get into some of the investment in audio gear. If you want to get the best audio possible, invest in a good audio interface. I use the Sound Devices MixPre 3. It's actually a pretty expensive audio interface. It's actually a field recorder, but I really like it because I can record to an SD card that's built in. It has a great level of gain, so I can use microphones like the Shure SM7B, has 3 XLR inputs, audio outputs. Pretty much any microphone that I plug into that interface is going to sound great. I'm actually using the shotgun microphone to record this video into that audio interface right now. If you don't need all of those features, we have a whole video on audio interfaces. You could check it out above or the link in the description. And we recently reviewed the Vocaster 2, which is an awesome audio interface, and it even has a feature called Auto Gain, which will actually help you set that gain level for your microphone automatically so you don't have to think about it. You can check that video out above or in the description. Finally, tip number 7, if you want the best audio possible and you have the budget to do it, you can buy good audio. You can buy the best microphones, the best audio interfaces, and your audio will always be pristine. Right now, I'm actually using the Sennheiser MKH 416. It's an industry standard shotgun microphone. It is about $1,000, but I got it because I never want to think about audio again. I want to record with a microphone that sounds great every time, and this microphone does the job. It's going into that MixPre 3 audio interface like I said before, and I can be confident my audio is always going to be crisp. Now, if that's a little out of your budget, I can also recommend the Sennheiser MKH 600. This microphone is about $400, still sounds really good. It can be run in most audio interfaces. It doesn't require a battery, which is nice. You can use phantom power. It has a couple presets like a low cut, but this I used before the MKH 416, and it does really sound great. And if you're looking more for podcast or broadcast style microphones, we have a great comparison with the Shure SM7B versus the Earthworks Ethos, some really great pro mics, and the Shure MV7, which is a great USB and XLR mic combo. And if there's a microphone that you're curious about or you want to know the sound quality, leave a comment below this video and subscribe to the Riverside channel. Again, we'll put links to our head-to-head microphone comparisons, the best USB microphones, and even how to build a video podcast if you're looking to add video to your setup. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you in the next video.